Hey, what's going on, my cheesy subs? It's me here, the cheesy, and today I'm here with the KBD solo guide. So starting off, I'm gonna be showing you two methods to solo KBD. One of the methods is a range method, and the other one is a melee method. So first of all, let's start with the melee method and with the gear. So as you can see right here, I'm using a whip. I'm gonna be showing you for each method, like melee and range. I'm gonna be showing you the more expensive gear and the cheaper gear. If you can't afford the cheaper gear, then you probably shouldn't even be doing KBD. So this is the expensive method, and for the expensive method, just a whip and fury and regular gear, basically rune boots, maybe a ring of wealth, and barrows, gloves. Of course, you can always go for the lower level glove from the RFD chest, and then fire cape for me. And yep, if you're afraid you might get PK'd, which the possibility of that happening is really low. I've never actually been PK'd on my way to KBD. But if you are afraid of that happening, then you can always go for more of a welfare gear, which I will show you next, and that is the cheaper gear. And then for the inf setup, it's the same for both gears. So I'll be right back with the cheaper gear. Now guys, this is still the expensive method, but I forgot to say this is proselyte, not initiate. And this goes with the inf setup, because you're going to be using prayer to kill KBD. But I'll explain that when I show you the inf setup. But what's coming up next is the welfare gear, which is also the cheaper gear you can use for melee. And then I'll show you the inf setup, and then I'll show you the range, expensive, and then the cheap gear, and then moving on. So I'll be right back with the cheap gear. Okay, so for the welfare melee gear, guys, this is it. Now I'm gonna show you the possibilities if you have some money. And well, this is the cheapest the gear can get. Nazi probably, or a Zerkelm on MEF strength, or a glory. You could replace that for glory, but I'm showing you the cheapest method. And a D-skimmy, I wouldn't even suggest doing it if you don't have this. So yeah, and I mean, this is a basic melee requirement. If you're gonna kill KBD, wouldn't wanna see you there with like your rune skimmy hitting zeros. It's not even worth it. And initiate, because that's like one level, like one tier lower than proselyte, but it's still pretty much good. And a team cape rather than a fire cape. You can always substitute this for an obby cape or a fire cape if you have that. And a ring of wealth is a basic requirement. I wouldn't even suggest killing KBD if you don't have this, because this increases your chance of any good drop, basically. And rare drop table items, you can probably look those up if you don't know what they are. And gloves. Now for gloves, it's your personal choice. Whatever the maximum RFD chest gloves you have unlocked, or what you can do is substitute it for something of your choice, as long as you can get in a few kills. Now let me show you the inf setup, and I'll be right back. So this is the inf setup, guys, and what you're going to be needing is a super set, an anti-fire pod, some super anti-poison. 4 prey pods is what I use when using proselyte, well, the expensive gear, and rest is sharks, a DDS. This helps you 100% of the times, because if you spec in the beginning of the kill, the poison does help a lot. The poison is 100% effective, so yeah, I would suggest you use this. And just a random tele of your choice. You can always substitute the fury for a glory and use that to tele to edgefill and then walk back. But I have a glory mounted up in my house, so I simply use the tabs. So yeah, this is the inf for the melee, guys, and I'm gonna show you a kill, how to do it with melee, and then we'll move on to the range method. So I'll be right back. Now guys, before I show you the loot, the kill, I'm gonna go ahead and show you the route KBD. So let's go. So now that you're at KBD, guys, what you're gonna do is you're gonna pot and you're gonna pray melee, because pray mage isn't effective against these spells. As you can see, I was actually praying mage for just a bit because I was standing away, but it really doesn't work. So you can choose to pro item if you want to, but what I do is I simply pro melee, use piety, and use my DDS specs. So there you go. The DDS specs are really useful because they poison KBD and the poison does constant damage. So when you're hitting zeros, you're going to be seeing 6 hits. As you can see there, I just saw a 6. That is from poison, and it's going to keep happening every while, and it actually helps with the kill. And the DDS specs are actually good, and as you can see, well, it all depends on your melee stats too, because the higher your melee stats, the faster you can kill it. So yeah, and let me finish the skill. And there we are, guys, add a plate body. So I'm not even discussing the loot. You can check out my loot from 50 KBD vid if you want to know about the loot. But so yeah, moving on to the range method. Now guys, for the range method, what you're going to be using is, this is the expensive method, and you're going to be using an archer's helmet, fury, carol's top, bottom, snakeskin boot, whatever gloves or vamps of your choice. I would usually prefer the RFD gloves, but then again, it's your personal preference. And then an accumulator. Now as you can see, I'm not wearing any bolts because there are 2 types of bolts you can use. The diamond bolts, these have a spec. Well, they're pretty good, but I usually prefer the ruby bolts E because the spec can hit up to 50 on KBD. And also, I don't know how the spec works depending on your range level, but when it specs for me, I can hit a maximum of 50, and that's the damage cap on KBD for the ruby bolts E spec. So that, and you can also go for the diamond bolts E, but then again, personal preference. Now for the cheaper method, I'm not gonna prolong the vid anymore, so what you're gonna do is you're simply gonna replace the carol's top with the black d'hide body and the carol skirt with the black d'hide jabs, and you can choose to replace the fury for glory, but I just keep the fury with the carols. That's what I use. Then again, you can maneuver your gear around in a way, you know, personal preference. Now I'll be right back with the inf setup. So yeah guys, the inf for the range method is pretty much the same as the melee method. What you're going to need is a range pot, super def pot, an anti-fire pot, and super anti-poison, and some prey pots, sharks, and the telly. And one more thing, I'm not going to be showing you a kill because I don't really want to prolong the video. You probably get how it's done. And you're going to be standing far away from KBD, and since he uses the fire spells, or like you know, the dragon fire and the poison, that's why you drink this, and freezing thing, so you're going to be standing away. You don't actually pro mage, and because you can pro mage, but I know for a fact that pro mage does not reduce the damage, and I've actually tried it with and without pro mage. And what you're going to be doing is using the eagle eye and the steel skin spells, or just the eagle eye spell, up to you, 100%. And that's pretty much it, guys. And if you did enjoy and found this helpful, then leave a like and become a cheesy subscriber. And I'm sorry, lately I've been slacking on the PvP vids, but I'll be coming back with more PvP and probably more PvM vids later on. And thank you for watching, guys, and have a nice day.